All right. Live, live, live. We are live. We are live. We are live. As always, we're going to give people a couple of minutes to get up in here. Oh, somebody in here already. Wow. Hola. What's going on? Who you be? Who dat? Who there? All right. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right, we're gonna give people a couple minutes to get in here before we begin. Mm, mm, mm. What up, Dash? Hola. Mm, mm. Oh, let me plug this in so it don't die on us. Mm, 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 mm. Breaking the fourth wall. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yo, what up, Dave? What's going on, top dog? Oh, David said, "What up, Dash?" Dash says, "Hey, Dave." Alrighty, righty, alrighty, alrighty. Mm, mm. Instagram showing me Carter 6 tour ads is wild. Who told them to do that? Mm, mm, mm. Instagram is wild for that. Oh, Dave says, bet you can't wait to enjoy this lovely weather. LOL. Dash says, LOL. Listen, Dave Dash about to be outside like nobody's business. You hear me? He says, I have not been outside in 12 days. So ready to enjoy the weather. Mm, 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 mm. All righty. Let me take a little bit of the water. Gotta hydrate out here. You know what I'm saying? Must hydrate. Can't be potting with the dry mouth. No bueno. Mm, 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 mm. What about you, Dave? It was all nice and hot today. It was like 84 degrees. Did you enjoy this hot weather? I don't like it. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of East Coast summers. I think East Coast summers, as far as weather goes, are ass. I think if we're talking about, fun in the sun, just activities and stuff, yeah, good times. But as far as that hot, humid heat, like, what about you? You enjoying it? 84 today. Did you like it, Dave? Dash, did you go outside a little bit? At least sit on the stoop or something? Dave said, I definitely did not. I spent the day making phone calls and cleaning. I hope the AC was on during that time. Right now, y'all might see me melt because the AC got to be off during pods. If you see me melting like the Wicked Witch of the West, it ain't on purpose. I'm going to try not to melt in front of y'all. Dave says, not a fan of the heat. I like a nice 70 degrees. Ooh, we talking now. Yeah, spring and fall are my favorite because usually this one been weird because technically it's still spring, but yeah, normally we get a nice cool day. You know what I'm saying? Between 50 and 70, that's the sweet spot, especially if you got that cool spring breeze or that crisp autumn breeze. We talking now, baby. Dash says we skipped mid to high 70s completely. I don't like that either. Yeah, it's been a weird one. It's like we just went to summer, but it's been like that. Like we've been having like 50, 20, 50, 70, 50, 23. Like it's been crazy. It's been like really, really weird weather during this spring. And then summer then at one point, like winter didn't want to leave. It was like winter was like, hey man, I'm staying. If y'all don't like it, too bad. It took a while for us to leave that where it was like, yeah, it's gonna be 33 today, even though it's spring. It's been a really weird spring. I feel like we didn't really enjoy spring and summer be here in about 5 minutes. Um, that's just my ideal temperature is 73. Yeah, I hear you. That's not bad. Not too bad. But unfortunately we in 80s now. Time to get booty butt naked. You know what I'm saying? It's gross. And that means the humidity is coming right along with it. Boo. I think I need a little more water. Let me grab that, and then we're gonna start this pod. Lucky I keep some close by. Ain't even gotta get up. Keep it in arm's reach. Just a splash left in there. All right. Save that for in a few minutes. Dave says, and all that recent rain was trash. Yeah, May rained like May was just raining. It was like April didn't give y'all enough. So I'm here, baby. Prepare for the rain all damn May. Dave says, I like a nice cool day. Dash says, yup. All right, yo, let's get this pod started. And we will oh, I do need to pull up one article. And whoever comes in will trickle in when they get here. I don't want to keep waiting and just having the eye stay idle. I think that's kind of whack. Oh, wrong button. That's not for this pod. Um, all right. Oh, more people trickling in. Very nice. Very nice. Hola, say what's up in the chat. We're about to get this pod started right now. Dasha, let's get this potty started. You are a silly lady. Let's get this potty started. Potty. Ain't no potty like a weeknight pot. All right, never mind. I don't need that just yet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Weeknights Live. This is Weeknights Live once again, and I am JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on today, so also ring light today, so also aka rearview mirror. Today we're gonna talk about a few things. If you saw the title of the live, then you know what we're about to talk about. And let's get right into it. So first, T Pain did this weird thing. T Pain put out a video where it said it's been 20 years and I'm not sure what's coming next. I've been discussing it with my family and my team, and y'all will know soon, or something like that. It was like this weird, like ominous, mysterious thing where you didn't really know clearly what was going on. Was it retirement? Was it a new project? Was he gonna do like the weekend and change his name and start a new character, quote unquote? You just didn't know. It's like, oh boy, T Pain, what you about to do, man? You're making me nervous. But then T Pain put out like a 3-minute video after that, talking about his 20 years in the industry, his 20 years as a creator, 20 years as a auto tune user, a fan favorite, a hook master, all these things that he's accomplished, and then announced he's going on tour. It's going to be called the TP20 tour, I believe he said. And T Pain fooled us, folks. T Pain got us all nervous to announce a tour. Now, he says this tour will be unlike any other tour. It will be a game changer. It will be like a badass party that we're all invited to. And we should buy our T Pain tickets right now. I think this was a really cool way to roll it out, even though he kind of got me. I'm not going to lie, because I was like, is T Pain about to fake retire? Because that would be weird. But he did not retire as of yet. He says this tour will brace us for the next 20 years because there's a lot of changes coming. And so he keeps doing this like thing where he's being ominous and kind of what's the word I'm looking for? He's not really saying what's going on. The word starts with an A, but I can't think about it at the moment. But he's not really telling us what's going on. He's kind of alluding to things, and it's kind of weird, but I guess the idea is to keep you coming, to pull you in so that way you keep coming for whatever's coming next. And so he just is alluding to things and not telling you clearly what is happening. So it's fine. There's a tour that's been announced, And once the tour starts, maybe we'll know more. But T Pain says that it will be a huge tour, a very different tour, uh, like a really cool party that's coming to your city. And that this will be a tour no one will forget. I'll be honest, he got me with that first video. And I started pondering what happens if there's no more T Pain. Thankfully, we don't have to find out. So I was relieved that this was a tour announcement and not a retirement announcement because I know he has discussed, spoken about how he has done more with streaming as far as finances go. He's brought in more with streaming than with music the last couple of years. And so if streaming video games and doing a live pod type of situation is going to bring him that kind of money, I thought, man, maybe that's it. He found his sweet spot and he's done with music. So I was happy to be wrong, but it did get me thinking about what's next for T Pain. That being said, let's hit the chat. Dash says, I'm so glad it's not a fake retirement. Yeah, we know that artists often say they're retiring, and then we come to find out they are not retiring. And so I'm glad to. Now, I will say, if T Pain said he was retiring music, he was retiring from music to do streaming instead, I'd believe him. Because I've seen him and how much fun he has on that streaming, and he's been vocal about how much money he's made. He has not said, I've made these many dollars, not that I've seen, but he has discussed that I'm doing a lot. I'm bringing in a lot more, doing a lot less, just sitting here and streaming. So I would believe him if he said that that's why he was retiring. Um, Dave says, is it a solo tour? Question mark. Is it his first solo tour? Question mark. He has a lot of people that can help him. T-Pain was on tour like a year ago, and what he was doing then was different cities had different special guests. And I think like the opening act was the same throughout the tour, if I'm correct. But then the special guests were different in different cities. It was like I think it was called T-Pain and Friends, if I'm correct. Um, I do not have more info on the tour except the announcements video. I did not look up tickets or ticket prices or what cities. I didn't do any of that as of yet. But um, he's talking big shit, and so I'm curious to see how this will go. I have never seen T Pain live. I would love to see T Pain live, and so I will consider that. I don't know when the tour starts. I just watched those two videos. I'm not going to come up here and act like I know more. I do not. But I imagine if he's saying that it's going to be this big thing, he probably has other acts with him um, that are going to be rolling with him. I could totally see him and Chris Brown, but I don't think that's going to happen because Chris Brown is currently on tour already doing the Breezy Bowl. I could see him and Lil Wayne. They have a lot of music together. They seem to have a great rapport. But also, Lil Wayne just announced the Carter Six, so I don't think those two people will be joining him. So I don't know who will join. But I do think this is worth looking into, and probably, yeah, it probably is worth the ticket price for T Pain and whoever else is going to be there. So, yeah, that is the announcement that T Pain made, and it is an announcement. It's a tour announcement, but it didn't seem like that's what he was going to announce. It seemed like something else was coming at first, but it is a tour announcement. Uh, what else I got for y'all? Everybody's favorite Eminem is in the news right now. Not the peanut Eminem, not the red one who seems agitated and crotchety. No, not those M&Ms. Not the ones who pass out when they see Santa Claus drinking the milk by the chimney. No, not those. Slim Shady Eminem. Slim Shady Eminem is in the news right now, and I'll tell you why. This article is from People. It says Eminem's music publisher, 8 Mile Style, is suing Meta for $109 million. I will say that number one more again. $209 million over copyright infringement claims. It says the company that controls Eminem's early catalog, 8 Mile Style, also requested a jury trial. What do we need to know? It says 8 Mile Style, the publishing company that controls Eminem's early songs, is suing Meta for over $109 million in damages in a copyright infringement lawsuit. The company alleges that Mark Zuckerberg's technology company violated the copyright of 243 songs from Eminem's catalog. In a statement obtained by People, a Meta spokesperson said, quote, Meta had been negotiating in good faith with 8 Mile Style, but rather than continue those discussions, 8 Mile Style chose to sue. Now, let me try to find for y'all what it says about the infringement. I already know, but I wanted to see how they word it. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Um, 8 Mile Style claims Meta violated the copyright infringement through, quote, unauthorized storage, reproduction, and exploitation of the 243 songs on the various platforms that Meta owns. For those who don't know, Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. The claim cite the various applications different. Yeah, no, okay, I read it right. The claim cite the various applications different features, including original audio and Reels Remix, as a means to, quote, allow and encourage its users to steal 8 Mile Style's music to use in their content without proper attribution or license. The suit also claims that songs have been used in millions of videos and streamed billions of times. In a statement obtained by People, a Meta spokesperson said, Meta has licenses with thousands of partners around the world and an extensive global licensing program for music on its platforms. Meta had been negotiating in good faith with 8 Mile. Oh, we said that part already. So they took part of the quote, put it over there, whatever. 8 Mile Style also claims there is a, quote, diminished value of the copyright by defendants' theft of them, lost profits, and defendants' profits attribution to the infringement. The company is seeking monetary damages and asked for the maximum statutory damages. The Grammy winners company requested $150,000 for each of the 243 songs being on Meta's Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook, reaching a total of $109,350,000 in damages. They have also requested a jury trial, not a jury style. I don't know what a jury style is. Maybe some made up shit I just said. All right, let's see what you got here. Oh, I thought there was another comment. No, there was not. All right, so that is the deal. That is what Eminem's company is suing Meta for. I think this is a really interesting legal situation. I think this is a really interesting lawsuit for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm gonna say it. I hope I don't get in trouble. But white on white crime, man. You got a lot of people's favorite Eminem and a lot of people's favorite Zuck, as he called himself a while ago when Threads was launching. Zuck and Slim, Eminem and Mark. I think that alone makes it interesting. Now, when you dig a little deeper and we start talking about copyright infringement, I think that makes it even more interesting, right? Because we're talking about Eminem's company is saying that they did not get proper permissions. One, two, they encouraged users, as you heard me read, to use this in quote original audio. Now, I, as a creator, have always been curious about this original audio thing because you can take other people's music and put it in as original audio. And they do have AI systems and people who are supposed to comb through these many, many pieces of content and find when something is not original audio and it does belong to someone, whether it's a piece of the song, the whole song, whatever. This is not the first lawsuit of this kind, but it is the first lawsuit of this magnitude that I know of, because that is a lot of money. I haven't seen anything for this much money. Now, the fact that they're saying that not only was this used, it was encouraged, I think is where they're going to have some problems. Because how are you going to prove that that Meta encouraged people to do it? What proof do they have? They're going to have to come up with some kind of proof that shows Meta encouraging people to do it. That shows people saying like, use this song, use this sound, or something of that nature. I don't know if they're just going to be able to prove that so easily. I think you're going to have a hard time proving that part in court. Yes, it's true that Meta has licenses with lots of companies, lots of artists, and lots of probably publishing companies, which is what kind of company this is. Because it's not Eminem directly, even though that's what the headline says. It's company versus company, right? So let me slow down a little bit. I think that's where it gets a little interesting as well, because yeah, they do have deals with lots of artists, companies, etc. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean you stop letting people use it during the negotiations, because they're saying we were negotiating in good faith. That's fine. Negotiations happen, and negotiations should happen if you're trying to reach a deal. But what is happening with that music, those quote unquote sounds in the meantime? Because if you're still letting people run it up, as they say, that could be problematic, because you can't just let people run it up while we're in negotiations. And also, let's be real, we're talking about Eminem, Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, one of the biggest artists of the last 20 years. Whether you like him, you love him, you hate him, doesn't matter. Actually, 20 plus years, because his first album came out in 99. So Eminem is a huge artist still today, whether you love him, hate him, don't like him, don't know who he is. I don't know how you wouldn't know who he is, but he's a huge act. And so that catalog comes with a lot of weight. It's possible that they were trying to lowball Slim Shady, that they were saying, yeah, well, this is how much we'll pay you, and that's it. And so, being that he is someone who's so strong in the game and has so much cachet, it is possible that they were like, nah, man, these negotiations are not going well. You're still letting people use it. You're quote unquote encouraging people to use it. We're taking it to court. And I think they are very confident if you're requesting a jury trial. That is a signal, the bad signal, that you mean business. That's you saying, hey, man, I'm so confident in this that I think juries will agree with us and penalize y'all. I think that is also a bold statement on 8 Mile Styles' behalf. I was trying to remember that name. I think it's a weird name. Um, so that I think they're very confident that. I don't know if it's overconfident, but I think that's them putting out a clear signal that, hey, man, we mean business. Said to the chat. Dave says money fight. Absolutely. Dave says, I think that's probably why they want the jury, because Eminem is very popular. Yeah, I think it is about popularity, but also about skin in the game, right? Because clearly they feel they can convince a jury to get this maximum payment. Dash says this sounds like one of these things where the company doesn't do much to prevent it until they get hit with a whammy like this. Even if they have rules on this, it's probably very lenient because it's probably not costing them much. Right, exactly. I agree. I agree with that. And well said. I think it is one of those things where it's lenient, because I have put up sounds that I know are other people's sounds, and immediately it says, oh, this is, even if it's just a slice, it'll say this is a piece of Dashing D's single BBL Dashing. You'd be like, oh, okay, good job, they did their job there. And other times you put something up and it just says JD's original audio, Cherry Eggplant's original audio. Sometimes even if it's a repost, it will do that. but everything is not original audio. And so they may need to do a better job of this original audio thing. I'm gonna put quote unquote original audio, air quotes, because a lot of stuff is not original audio, especially like I've seen reposts even that just say original audio. And I'm like, how could it be original audio if I'm clearly reposting someone else's post? You see the post, I'm saying repost. Sometimes people have the repost app. There's a couple of ones you can use that you'll see in the little corner. It says like repost, or it has the little symbol of the repost, like the little loop logo. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And it'll say original audio. And so, yeah, they got to do a better job. And maybe this will help with that. And if that helps artists get paid, I'm all for that. Unfortunately, the real problem is there are not enough M&Ms in the world. And once again, I don't mean the sweet, delicious chocolate coated candy. I mean Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, right? There's not enough of those in the world. So someone who's a small fry like myself, we can't sue Meta. My songs are not doing what Eminem songs are doing. But my point is, independent artists, artists with really bad deals on major labels, these people are not just gonna be able to sue Meta. And if you are a small act with a distribution deal or something like that, if you go to your label and say that, hey, Meta is doing these things and I have proof, that's cool. But they may not give a fuck enough to fight for you. Because remember, your label got to be able to fight on your behalf, or your publishing company or whoever. Some of these companies have mad artists that are signed, whether it's a pub deal or a record label deal, and they may not, they just don't care enough to go out there and fight on your behalf. And so that's where it gets tricky. The small fish loses in these instances. And so that's where it gets a little tricky. Listen, water bottle. Sorry. Um, that's where it gets tricky because big fish eat small fish. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. But that's where it's really unfortunate. I wish there were more M&Ms in this instance because these companies are using and abusing their power when it comes to the way they use our original content to help others create original content. It's a really weird time right now with copyrights, with music, with ownership. All of those things are kind of in this gray, weird area today. Um, so I think this could change things for the better. I think Dash had a good point about the leniency. Perhaps this will make those systems improve because the reality is they do need to improve. I'm gonna take a sip of water and then we hit our last topic. One more swig. All right. So this is a movie review slash recommendation. All right. There's a movie out called Black Bag. Black Bag was in theaters for a very short time and is on streaming. If I'm correct, Black Bag is streaming currently on Peacock. This is not an ad. Peacock did not pay me. Whoever made, writers, directors, whoever was involved in Black Bag, excuse me, did not pay me. I just think this was something to talk about, something worth sharing, something worth discussing. Let me come in here and give y'all my rating first. Let's start with the truth. Let's start with where I'm at with it. Why is that happening? Because a lot of times people will want that information, and we wait until the end to give it. I don't want to do that. So, what I got for y'all, Black Bag. Going by my rating system, let's start there. Then we'll get into the nitty gritty. Going by my rating system, Black Bag. The acting was a 9. The story was a 9. The pacing was an 8. Did it hit the mark for its genre? Yes, that I gave a 9. It's like a spy who done it kind of movie. Cinematography, I gave it an 8.5. Special effects, I gave it a 7. My total score, my final score for the film Black Bag is an 8.4. Black Bag for me was an 8.4 according to my new rating system, which we discussed on this pod last week. Black Bag was really good. It's a mystery. It's this couple who's dating, and they're both spies. They're government agents, and there's this whole group of people in the midst of um of the story who are all this whole group is coworkers. It's like two couples and a couple of friends, if I'm correct. I want to say three couples. I'm not 100% sure, but whatever. It's a group of people, and that's who you're following throughout the story. There's some crime that goes down. You don't really know who did it or who didn't do it. And all throughout the movie, they're showing you different things as you try to figure out who done it. Who done did it? Three couples. Thank you, Dash. So it's this group of people, six people, and you're trying to figure out who did it, why did they do it, all of these things. And also, I would like to say, man, they did an amazing job. If you watch the trailer, at least the first trailer, I never saw a second trailer. But if you watch the trailer for Black Bag, they also did a great job of not showing you the cast. I know that sounds weird, but I think that's fitting for this mystery spy, who did it kind of movie. It's like a game of Clue, right? It's like who did it, where, and why. And so they did a great job in the trailer of just showing you the two main characters, really, and not really anybody else of importance, just like random characters. And when you watch the film, what's really cool to me, I haven't seen this in a long time, where you're watching the film and all throughout the film, you're like, oh shit, this person's in that movie. Oh shit, that person's in the movie. That's really cool. I like that. I thought that was a bonus. I thought that was really fly. When I was watching the movie, I was very excited at some of the actors who were in this movie. People who are young and new and making their way, but also OGs, right? And so I thought that was really dope. I enjoy the pacing of this movie a lot. They did a good job. It does not drag. Every moment something is happening, that is part of the story. Okay? There's drama, there's comedy, there's wit, there's fighting, there's shootouts. All of the things are there. Um, Not a lot of shootouts, but whatever. It's more of a spy mystery movie than anything else, and that's clear from the trailer, which is why my genre-based number was what it was. I feel like they hit the mark. I feel like they did a great job, and I think this is something people should watch. I'm not going to tell you every second of the movie because that would spoil the entire movie, and I think for a mystery who done it kind of movie, that's not really the cool thing to do. But um, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it was great. I saw it once in theaters. I tried to go a second time, but there weren't any um tickets were not available at the time I could see it. And so I'm looking forward to watching this on streaming. In fact, I'll be real with y'all. This is a movie I would buy. And if you know me, you know I don't buy just any movie. I buy movies that I would enjoy watching over and over and over again. I will definitely be buying Black Bag at some point, unless one of y'all want to gift it, I'll take we take Blu-rays out here. Um, but yeah, this is something that was shot in a really cool way. It really makes you think, and there's lots of plot twists all the way to the end of the movie. So that's my recommendation and my movie review of Black Bag. Great film. If you like spy thriller, clue, who done it kind of movies, this was an excellent one to watch. And so again, 8.4 rating, and I recommend you watch it. Let's hit the chat. Um Dash says, "Is this the best rating you've given so far?" Yes, yes, it is. I have not spoken about all the movies I rated up here since I started this system, but this is the highest of the five films that I've seen since starting my reviews. I have to do one that I haven't done yet, which is Final Destination Bloodlines, but it's going to be bad because the movie was bad. It's not going to be a good rating. It's probably going to end up being like a 5 or a 6 or somewhere between 4 and 6 by the time my score is all tallied up. But that's the only one I haven't done, if I'm correct, from the movies I've seen recently. Because I saw Thunderbolts, I saw Final Destination Bloodlines. I haven't been back to the movies. I'll be at the movies this weekend though. Going to see Karate Kid with the squad. Um, Dash says I saw it. It was very good, very entertaining. Yeah, Dash. What is your rating? If you had to give it a 1 through 10, I know you only in the chat and we're not potting as usual, but what do you give the movie 1 through 10? If you don't mind me asking, Dave, have you seen the movie? Dave, have you heard of this movie? I'm curious. Let me know. Also, it's kind of weird with the slight delay because I be trying to ask y'all questions and then having to pause just to wait. I don't know how the viewers I don't know how the viewers are receiving that later on. Dash says I'd give it an 8. Okay, all right. So be right there with it. Dave says, no, I have not seen it or heard about it. You see, look at weeknights, man. That's what I'm talking about. Spreading the good word, doing the work. That's what I love, man. Weeknights up here doing it. Dave said, from what you said, I will definitely look at it. Yeah, it's worth, Dave. I'm telling you, man. Great movie. I mean, you heard my breakdown, but the writing was great. Cinematography definitely hit the mark. This was a solid film. So I would advise you check it out. And it's on Peacock, but now you can rent it on any platform. So I'm sure you could find it on whatever platform you like for rent it for $3 or whatever it is they do. I don't be knowing the prices, but it's always something like that. $3, $5, you could rent it. Um, Definitely worth it. Dash says I love spy movies, so it was right up my alley. Yeah, same. I love stuff like that, and I thought this was a great bounce back for Michael Fassbender, because his last movie, The Killer, I think it was called, or Killers on Netflix. It was a Netflix film. Ooh, it was double doo doo. You know what I'm saying? Not good at all. So I'm appreciative of this film in that aspect too, because I'm a Michael Fassbender fan. I mean, he's tattooed on me as Magneto, so I think that says enough. But this was a good bounce back for him. And the lead actress, I ain't see her in anything in a minute. What was her name? Let me see. Let me pull it up. I'm not good with names, but I didn't see her in a hot minute either. And I was like, okay, look who's making a comeback out here. Let me find her name for y'all one time before we get up out of here. Blackberg. Kate Blanchett. That's her name. I haven't seen her in a minute. And so it was cool to see her in a film. I haven't seen Kate Blanchett in a minute in a film. I don't even know it's the last film she did before this while we're here. Let me check. It's the last thing she did before Black Bag. Let me see. Oh, she did a show called Disclaimer. She's in 7 episodes. And she's in the movie Borderlands. Oh, she's working. She got a bunch of stuff that came out in 2024. And she did some voice work for Marvel What If as well. Oh, okay. So she's been working, and before that, she's been in a bunch of stuff. I guess we just haven't been in it. There hasn't been alignment in the universe. We haven't lined up, and we did with Black Bag. But I thought that was cool. I haven't seen her in a minute, and she's the other main actor in the movie. She plays Michael Fassbender's wife. Dave says, I enjoy a good movie. Plus, I'm that person that can watch a movie I like more than once. Same. Hence me saying those are the only movies I really buy. Because I like to really sit and watch it over and over, see what I could find that I missed, or just, refresh my brain and just have that sitting on the brain. Dash says you should check it out. Yeah, I'm with you. Good film. Um, and all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're gonna close it out. We've gone through our topics, no need to linger. So that'll be that. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Weeknights. Thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time. Dash, hit it. Dash says bye. All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Adios. Dave says peace. Three, two, one.